All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? J-Mac here with you. This is What the Puck. And I am joined tonight by the one, the only, Mr. Greg Hot Seat Gallino. Greg, what's going on tonight, brother?
Oh, man, not too much. Just been watching a little baseball, just checking in on a little hockey, just enjoying this beautiful weather out here. Perfect day, not a cloud in sight. You know, it was in the mid 50s today. Just enjoying life, bud.
All right. And of course, I'm joined by not only on this show, but we do a radio show together as well. Mm-hmm. He's Nate the Great on here. He's Statmaster Nate on the Four Bros radio show, which today was on Radio Oxen at 12:30 p.m. over in the UK. So that's kind of exciting. We were on there today, and you can catch us there every Friday. You can also catch us here on the network. But for tonight, he's going to be Nate the Great, and we're going to talk some hockey. How's that sound for you, Nate?
That's been exciting. Today was a little bit. It did some things that I normally don't do. I watched a college men's swimming and diving competition, and I watched the college men's fencing as well. So that was a little bit exciting to watch.
Yeah. You know, some of those sports that you don't think are going to be exciting, they can turn out to be pretty fun to watch. I catch myself watching some here and there. You know what? I caught the other day? I caught an ultimate frisbee tournament. They were having an ultimate frisbee tournament between some community college, some junior colleges, and I was like, I don't think this is going to be very entertaining, and it was great, man. I'm telling you, it was pretty fantastic. So if you ever get a chance to watch that, watch some ultimate frisbee. It's pretty entertaining. So tonight we're going to start with our sponsors real quick. Here we're going to play Paparazzi. Oh. You know what? I hit the picture and not the words behind it. Yeah. So hang on. Here we go. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network. All right. And of course, we got that. Hey, let me ask you a question, Greg. Do you like jam? Do you like jelly?
Oh, absolutely, bud.
And do you like bacon?
Jam's one of my all-time faves.
And hot sauce, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the place that has it all right here. Good stuff right there, man. You got to check that place out. It's pretty nice. So right quick before we get in here, let me ask you. So ultimate taser ball is what Tim is saying. So Nate, if you want to win that t-shirt, you do what Tim just did, right?
Yeah.
You comment. You like, you share. We add those up at the end of the month. End of the month is coming quick. Get your name in there, and you can have a chance to win that shirt. Be that viewer of the month. And
5 days.
That's what you gotta do right there. 5 days. That's it. Get your name in there many times as you can. These are some great shirts, so get yourself in there and get one of those. Now, hot seat. If you can't, for some reason, you can't comment, like you can't watch us live, you got to watch us on a replay so you don't get your name in there in time. Is there another way to get a shirt?
Oh yeah, there's another way you can get a shirt. You can always order one. Just $14.99 plus shipping and handling. You can pay a few extra dollars if you're larger than a 2XL. Also, we have some trivia on this show. If you call in and can answer the trivia question right, you can be entered for a drawing to win as well. So yeah, there's multiple ways to pick up a free T-shirt. You just gotta tune in. If you can't comment, we have some trivia here on this show. So there's other ways to get a shirt, get your hands on a shirt if you need to.
All right. For sure. Okay. So with that stuff out of the way, let's get into some hockey talk, gentlemen. What do we think?
Mm-hmm. Sounds great to me.
So we're going to scrap the first topic for just a minute. We're going to get there. We're going to get to our top 5 goalies like we do every week. I know that's a staple of the show. Everyone's looking forward to it. But I want to ask you guys, do you find this NHL season a little more exciting because there's not as many games?
Oh, I definitely do. With the shortened season, with the COVID restrictions, the travel restrictions, everything going on, it is pretty exciting. And, we're seeing some excellent scoring. I mean, we got some players in the league that might end up getting 100 goals even in a shortened season of only 56 games. So we're seeing some outstanding play, and it just makes it that much more exciting, and with the playoff format with 4 teams from each division, yeah, it's gonna be some great hockey coming down the road here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nate, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. I love, I don't know what it is, but I love to follow, and it doesn't matter the sport, and basketball, baseball, football, soccer, hockey, even if it's a league that's not even one that I pay attention to a lot. I love following playoffs, and I don't know what it is. So having a shortened season, it just makes that playoff picture more exciting to watch.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I understand. I get what you're saying about it. It totally makes sense. And shortened season, and like you said, 4 teams from each division. Now, we've never seen that before. So that means 16 teams are going to make the playoffs out of a possible 30. So more than half the league are going to be in. And I don't know if you have those handy on you right now, Nate, but do we have those standings as to where everyone's at right now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, to see where everyone is as far as who's in the top 4. And so, like I said, we're going to get to our top 5 goalies. I know everyone's waiting for that. We'll get there. We'll just run the show a little different tonight. So as soon as Nate can pull that up for us, we'll look at that. And this is your Central Division now. Here come the Lightning. And we've been talking about this the entire first season here on What the Puck. We've been talking about this and how the Lightning were one of those teams we didn't think was performing as well as we thought they should have. But they're starting to run away with things a little bit. I mean, they're 3 points up, which doesn't seem like a lot in hockey, but it can be quite a bit. And they're 6 points up on the Panthers, but they're 13 points up on the Blackhawks. So let me ask you, do the Blackhawks have any chance at all of catching the Lightning for first place, Greg?
The Blackhawks, absolutely not. The Blackhawks, on paper, are not necessarily what you would call a great team or a good team for that matter on paper, but they're getting outstanding play from Patrick Kane. He's pretty much been all world this season, trying to carry the load for a Blackhawks team that just to me is just okay on paper. But Patrick Kane is definitely holding his own and everything. And there's just no way that the Blackhawks are going to catch the Lightning. I think it's kind of interesting because we have like a 3-way race right now for 4th place between the Hawks and the Blue Jackets and the Predators. I mean, they're within striking distance of getting into that 4th playoff spot. The Predators and the Blue Jackets are. So not only are the Blackhawks not going to catch the Lightning, but they may not even make the playoffs if they have kind of a slump here, within the next few weeks.
Yeah. Nate, give us your take on that. What you think?
Not only do I think that they're not going to make the top seed, I don't think they're going to make top 3. To be honest with you, make playoffs with the 4th seed, sure, but again, you're at a point where for the Blackhawks season, there's only 22 games left, and for this team on a points aspect, it's 50 points compared to the Blackhawks 37. That's an additional 13 points that you have to catch.
In 22 games. So, I mean, You're talking about a difference of 13 points in 22 games. Essentially, you're going to have to win 13 more games than the Lightning do in the last 22 games. And do we really think that's going to happen, that they're going to win 13 more than the Lightning do? I mean, that's how far behind they are. Real quick before we move on to the next division, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this goal differential. And if we look at the goal differential for the Lightning, they are plus 42 in goal differential. And then we go all the way to the bottom. I've read my Red Wings, they're negative 41. So kind of shows the difference between a first place and a last place team, to be completely honest with that. But you kind of look at the Stars. Now, that's an interesting one. If you look at the Stars, they've played 30 games, which is fewer than anyone in this division. They have 8 overtime losses this year, but they're plus 5 in goal differential. But because of those 8 overtime losses, they're 20 points behind first place and 17 points behind 4th place. Is there any shot at all that the Stars make it into that 4th place? I'm sorry, 7 points behind. Excuse me, not 17. 7 points behind. Is there any shot at all that they can make it in there?
There is a shot. I mean, I just gave an outside shot to the Blue Jackets and the Predators. As I said before on this broadcast, I think the Blackhawks are definitely one of those teams that's kind of surprising me because, on paper, they don't look that great, but they're hanging in there right now. But they don't have a stranglehold on the 4th and final playoff spot. But yeah, I think the Stars, that just means, the 8 overtime losses means that they've been very, very competitive. Losing in overtime sucks, but I mean, that's very competitive to take 8 games into overtime, just like in baseball when you have a team that might not have a great record, but they've had like the most extra inning games in the league. So it means that they're very competitive. So if the Stars could probably, they got some pretty good talent. And I think that if they could put a pretty good 2-week run together, I think that they could make it interesting, put a little heat on the Blackhawks.
Yeah. And Nate, give us your take before we move on to the East Division.
I'm actually going to go as far as I think that they might have a shot at making the 3rd seed. I don't think they're going to make top 2. But I think they'll make 3 or 4 here. But it's going to be, they're going to have to put in more effort than what they have been. I mean, you're talking about a team that even though they played less games, they're second to last. And last year they were runner up in the league in the Stanley Cup here. So they have to put in as much effort as probably getting the point, that same amount of effort that they did last year, getting all the way up to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I think that for sure. But let's not count them out yet. I think the only team really in that division that's kind of out of the race is the Red Wings. I don't think any of us expect them to do anything. I sure don't, and I'm a Red Wings fan. So, I mean, we have 20 losses. 20. That's 3 more than anyone else in the division. 13 more losses than the number 1 team in the division. So it doesn't look good in Detroit. Fire Yzerman. That's going to be
blooper
my
of the
name
day,
next
though, is
time. It's going to
brighten
be
your day.
J-Mac Fire Yzerman. That's what it's going to be.
Probably for tomorrow.
Right? All right. Let's move on, Nate.
All right. So the next division is the Eastern Division.
We have the Eastern Division now. In this division, we have the Capitals leading, and man, you know what? Actually, they are right there tied with the Islanders. I believe they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker, and they've played one less game. So by percentage points, they would be the leader in that division by like a half a game. Because of the 7 losses versus the 8 for the Islanders. The points are the exact same. So right now, the Capitals would be the number 1. And then you got the Penguins that are only 4 points off in that division as well. So I don't think that this division race is over yet. So, Greg, I'm going to give this one to you first. I'm going to ask you, who finishes number 1 in this division? Is it the Capitals or is it your Islanders?
You know, if you asked me a week ago or so before Anders Lee suffered that devastating ACL tear to put him out for the rest of the season, I'd say I'd give the edge to my Islanders. It is kind of a toss-up right now. I still give the edge to my Islanders because I'm hearing that they're definitely in the market for another scorer in free agency. I don't know exactly who they want to go after right now, but it looks like they're willing to go out and get somebody right now to kind of replace Anders Lee to give them a little bit more depth in scoring. So I don't know. I think that my Islanders are playing excellent defensive hockey right now. Barry Trotz is doing an excellent job managing this team. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a homer, but I think that the Islanders, if they can figure out a way to get a little bit more scoring to replace Anders Lee, you know, and Barzal's still in there getting penalty minutes, getting a lot of points for him, and kind of, you know, showing great leadership and everything in the locker room. I'm going to give it to my Islanders. I think that they're pretty hot right now, as are the Capitals. You know, the Capitals have won 9 out of 10. Islanders have won 8 out of 10. But yeah, I'm thinking that my Islanders are probably going to maybe finish a couple points ahead of the Capitals is my prediction.
By the way, before I go to Nate, I just have to tell you that I saw earlier today that Alex Ovechkin, who for me, top 5 maybe all time, but definitely top 5 in the league right now, top 2 in the league right now, honestly. I have come out and said this guy did not step up this year. He was playing horrible. He wasn't the player we've seen him before. All he's done is come out and went on a tear in the last 10 games. He scored his 791st goal today. 791 in his career. Yes, I'll eat my humble pie. Thanks for that, Nate. I will. 791. So is he going to catch Gretzky? No, he's not going to. But he's going to end up top 5 in points, I think, in his career. And he definitely has come out and been the captain that they've needed to right this ship. And 9 out of 10 is quite impressive. Now, Nate, we're going to go to the flip side here. And I'm going to get your thoughts on – I didn't even believe we're going to talk about them on the show because they're that bad. They're actually worse than my Red Wings, which, hey, I'm cool. At least I'm a Red Wings fan and not a Buffalo Sabres fan. What is going on in Buffalo? Oh, my goodness. They have lost – and that's not a typo, ladies and gentlemen. They have lost 16 games in a row in ice hockey. 16. They have one overtime loss during that time. So 15 out of 16 have been flat-out losses. They took overtime to one game, which was against the Devils, and they still lost in overtime. So Nate, what's going on in Buffalo, man? What's going on there?
I don't know. You're looking at a Buffalo's team with this last loss. They tied the Pittsburgh Penguins for the most losses, the biggest loss streak period. Not the most losses, but the biggest loss streak period. Now you're looking that if they lose this next game, which actually, you know, I'm going to start a new tab here and look that out. You might be talking about a team that congratulations, Buffalo Sabres. Oh wait, no, their next game is against the Bruins tomorrow, which will probably be a loss.
Yeah, it'll be a loss.
Yeah, it's going to be a loss. So congratulations, Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo Sabres fans. Your team has officially had the longest losing streak in NHL history.
Because I mean, you think about it, so they're going against the Bruins tomorrow. The Bruins have given up 70 goals all season.
Mm.
The Sabres have scored 66. So think about that for a minute. And the Sabres have given up 115. They've given up 115 goals. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, the Flyers have given up 119. Corey Hart obviously was hurt there, and he was their top goalie. But 115 goals and minus 49 as far as goal differential. The Sabres have 16 points for the season. 16. 16 matches the amount of losses they've had consecutively. It's so bad in Buffalo right now. So bad in Buffalo.
Including tomorrow's loss, that'll be fourth shy of Houston. I know it's an entirely different sport, but the Houston Rockets. That's where the Buffalo Sabres is 3 shy. Excuse me, including tomorrow's loss, which is 3 shy away from the Houston Rockets and their losing streak that they had.
Right, that would be for this season, but remember all time, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost 26 consecutive games from 1976 to 1977. So they were 0 for 26 in their first 26 games in team history. That was a pretty bad losing streak there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of the East. Let's move over to the West. Let's see what's going on over there in the West. I think that we actually have some of the best teams in the league in the West, in my opinion. 2 of the best for sure in the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. But here comes that little team that could in the Wild. And I laughed at Hot Seat Gallino when he said the Wild are coming up and they're going to make a run for the playoffs. I said he was crazy and there was no way that was going to happen. Well, here we are, 32 games into the season, and they're 2 points off of the Golden Knights for first place in the division. So, Hot Seat Gallino, you get the hot seat here. You get to talk about what you saw with this Wild team and reasons why they're playing so well.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Wild are running buck wild. That's just the name of the game. They've got some very awesome young talent. Kirill Kaprizov is probably going to be, I would put everything I have that he's going to win the Rookie of the Year right now. I mean, he's playing lights out.
Well, he's playing lights out, so lights out that Hot Seat Gallino went lights out. So, Nate, I know you're an Avalanche fan, so I have to ask, are you worried at all about the Wild right there with your Avalanche?
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm just going to say this, even though we have the second best record in the West, in the Western Division, I'm worried about the top 5. Just looking at it, looking at the Wild, looking at this Blues, and looking at the Coyotes over here. But, I am worried about that entire Western division. I do have one thing to say, though. I need to eat some humble pie because back a while back with Tim Fielder and Will Polston, when we had Sports Minute over there, Monday night Sports Corner, excuse me, I said that the Golden Knights, I think they're going to be on a downhill year this year because they can't, stay this great for long. I need to eat some humble pie for that. And now going into to some other teams in the division.
Yep, sorry. So I'll just say on that, eat your humble pie, man, because if you said that the Golden Knights were going to have a down year, were you sorely, sorely mistaken on that one? The Golden Knights are.
Now, I will say this, though. I did not say they weren't going to the playoffs.
Well, good, because they're going to the playoffs.
I did not say that, but I was projected them to be more like a third or fourth seed.
Yeah. All right. And, of course, we have the Blues there in fourth place in that division, and then the Coyotes in fifth, and the Kings in sixth. Even the Sharks in seventh. I don't think the Sharks are completely out of that top four yet. They're only 7 points behind. Now the Ducks are out. They are 13 points behind fourth place. They're not going anywhere this year. They need to just start selling off some pieces. But so if you had to roll the dice right now, you had to make a pick, your life depended on it. Hot Seat Galano, who you picking to win this division? The Golden Knights, the Avalanche, or the Wild?
Nate, this one's for you, buddy. The Avalanche.
Wow.
All right.
I know that I've been big on the Knights, and I still like the Knights, but I think that the Avalanche are coming on strong. I mean, they've been a defensive juggernaut, especially as of the last few weeks. But yeah, great defensive team. They got some pretty good explosive talent. The Knights, have great goaltending. They're fast on the ice. The Wild, before my internet went down, I was trying to say that what makes them tick is their young core of players. They can be out there all day long. They're in incredible shape. Very young core. They're going to have some hiccups, but Kirill Kaprizov is playing lights out for a rookie. Definitely probably going to be the rookie of the year this year. They got some veteran players too still in the mix that are pitching in with some goals and playing some good defense. So, the Wild are definitely a team that's playing a lot better. They're playing a lot better hockey than I thought they would at this point with them being so young. I still think that they're probably going to be in third place in this division when it's all said and done. But for as young as they are, I think that the Wild are going to definitely be a team for years to come, especially with Kaprizov and that young goalie that they got. And just that young core group. I mean, I think that they're a team on the rise. But I think this year, to answer your question, I think that the Avalanche are going to bypass the Golden Knights for the top spot in the division.
For my personal pick on that, I was gonna go with the Golden Knights, but you seem to be on a roll with hockey hot takes lately. With what you said with the Minnesota Wild and what you've said with the Islanders and all this. So just because you're going with the Avalanche, I'm going with the Avalanche. But before I was going to go with the Golden Knights.
Okay. Well,
Both excellent teams.
If I had to pick right now, I think the Golden Knights are going to pull it out. I think they'll stay just above the Avalanche. I think that in the end, it's going to come down to the last game of the year. That's just really what I think. But we'll see. I mean, it'll remain to be seen. And again, we look at last place in this division in the Ducks, and what is the big glaring number for them again? It's goal differential. They're negative 41 in the goal differential. We've seen that with every bottom team in the league. So there is a glaring thing going on there. All right, move us over to the North Division, Nate.
So I just wanted to say one thing though. Looking actually at the Canucks, when we were talking about this division last week, the Canucks were on a 7th game winning streak. Even though they were sitting at the 5th seed, they were on a 7th grade winning streak and they were on a roll. Now they have lost 3 games since then, but they have been on a roll lately.
Yeah. Maple Leafs still in first place. Jets in second place. Oilers in third, and Canadians in fourth. So, real quick, do you still believe in the Maple Leafs, Greg?
Yeah, my time traveling abilities tell me that the Maple Leafs are the real deal. I'm sticking with the Maple Leafs. I've said it before. They need to start playing some of the teams in the States to really figure out exactly how great they are, because they're beating up on the Senators and some of the other lowly teams in this division. They do have some competition with the Oilers and the Jets, kind of waiting in the wings, and Connor McDavid is playing about as good of hockey as anybody right now. So, I think he's on pace to score possibly 100 goals this season in a shortened season. So, but yeah, I think that with Austin Matthews leading the charge, I do think that the Maple Leafs have what it takes to make a pretty good run and stay at the top of this division.
All right. And so the Jets are in second. I think the Maple Leafs are going to stay on top. I think they're going to win this division and pull it out in the end. But Nate, I enjoy asking you about the bad teams because you seem to know a lot about them when it comes to the bad teams in divisions. Again, we look at the Senators, and what's that number again? -41.
Yeah.
Every last place team in the NHL has 40 or more, or -40 or more in the differential for goals. Is goalkeeping their number one problem for all four of those teams, Nate?
Looking at the North, they have score against. They have 135, so they need to build up more defense, a better goalie is I think what they should get for in either in the draft or either by free agency or trades. Now looking back at the West Division, it's the same way. They've scored Ducks to have 115 goals scored against. Now, however, they did beat the St. Louis Blues not too long ago. I'm gonna give them credit for that. Now going into the East, it's the same way, 115. Well, actually, it's not the case. That's not the problem over in the For the Flyers, they have the most in that division scored against.
Understandable, but they've also scored 100 goals.
Yeah.
Look at how many the Sabres have scored in comparison to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely is the problem. And then go to the Central real quick. That's the Red Wings. I mean, you didn't really have to. I already knew the answer in the Central was the Red Wings, but they're -41 as well. So, well, thanks for pulling those up, Nate. We got you guys updated on the standings as of this minute, coming into today, or anyway, as to what they were. Now, you know what? I'm going to let you two guys debate this out. I'm going to let you guys debate on who is this year's MVP. So let's do a virtual coin flip. Let's go. Nate, you call it in the air, heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. You won the coin flip. So do you want to go first or second? Second. All right. So you're going first, hot seat Galliano. And your question is, who is this year's NHL MVP and why?
Well, I just mentioned his name, Connor McDavid. In my heart, I wanted to say Austin Matthews, but he's just not quite at that level that Connor McDavid's at right now. Connor McDavid, like I said, he's on pace to maybe put up 100 goals in a 56 game shortened season. Just playing lights out, very good leader. Still very young, but Connor McDavid is playing about as good as hockey as anybody right now. So at this point, I would give the award to the Hart Trophy to Connor McDavid, but nothing to take away from Austin Matthews and Patrick Kane. But Connor McDavid is kind of in a league of his own at this point.
All right. And the question goes to you, Nate. Who is this year's NHL MVP and why?
I'm going to go with the Colorado Avalanche face of the franchise, Nathan McKinnon. Now, I get it. He might be on a little bit of a downhill year this year, but, looking looking at Nathan McKinnon's stats over here. He's part of a team that has been for Colorado. He has like the his goal his the games played. He's played like 82 games. He scored 24. Well, actually, looking at 28 games he's played, he scored only 10 goals, but assists he has like 25. Points is at 35. Plus minus 17. So I really like Nathan's odds right here. Odds at winning this one.
All right. 30-second rebuttal. Hot seat Galliano. Sell your guy, man.
Connor McDavid, he's lighting up the scoreboard. He's pretty much doing everything on the ice right now for the Oilers. He's keeping them really close in the race to try to catch the Maple Leafs in that division. He's pretty much a one-man wrecking crew. Great leader, great captain. Very very young player, but an excellent handler of the puck. And he's just lighting it up right now.
All right, 30-second rebuttal, Nate.
I mean, looking at it for Colorado, he's just been on fire, and it's normally that normally that great for him. He's on point. I think he's on point to win this. I have him as my number one shot at winning the MVP stuff, and that's who I have.
Okay.
I was thrown off guard.
That's all right. All right. So you guys made very compelling cases. I was actually looking to one of you to try to push me in one direction as to who I should root for the MVP award. I gotta say it's close. I mean, it's so close. I don't know that I can pick between the two right now. So let's shelf that for another day, and I'll give you my pick next week. How about that?
Okay.
That was good.
You guys did a great job, though. You both gave me very compelling cases as to who to root for. So definitely helped me out on that one. All right. Now it's time. We're going to make Stanley Cup picks tonight. We're not going to make them right now. That's more to come. So we're going to do Stanley Cup picks. We're going to do trivia, and we got Greg's goofy moment to get to. First, real quick, I'm going to defer to you, Nate. I'm going to let you go first. It's just going to be you and Greg tonight on your top five. So, Nate, you're going to give me your top five goalies for, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Blackhawks we're going with tonight, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So give me your top five. Give me like one or two stats for each one. Make it quick. Let's go top five for Blackhawk goalies all time and go.
I'm going to go with a guy. His name is Charlie Gardner. He has, looking at his stats right here, he played in the 1945 season. And he has the best goals against average on this team. And he has more only Glenn Hall and Tony Esposito have more shutouts than Gardner. He helped bring back the Blackhawks for the first ever Stanley Cup in 1934. Now, unfortunately, he passed away and his life was very short, but that's who I have at number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Corey Crawford. Corey Crawford is the only player on this list to win 2 Stanley Cups. But you know how I feel on team sports about how championships, I don't think they should be put in this conversation. As I alluded to actually in this past show, I'll just say the truth. He owns the second best save percentage at 0.918, and the third best goals against average of a 2.45. And he has the third most saves at 12. 6,778 franchise history.
Okay.
Going to number 3, I got Ed Belfort. Just talking about a guy. He went undrafted before signing with the Blackhawks in 1987. He had 43 wins, a .910 save percentage, and a .247 goals against average, which all tops in the NHL. Balfour went on a take home at Calder, Jennings, and Veniza trophies in 1991. There's more than just that about Gardner, but going on and talking about Tony Esposito. Tony Esposito, he played 873 games, won 418 of those, had 24,376 saves and 74 shutouts. When it came to playoff stats, he tops in games at 999, 45 wins, and 6 shutouts. But was never able to win the Stanley Cup. That was his problem. Well, it wasn't his problem. It was the team he was on problem. And then,
all right,
my number one.
Go ahead. Yep.
Glenn Hall. Glenn Hall, he earned the nickname Mr. Goalie. He had 2 Veniza trophies, 8 All-Star teams, and a Stanley Cup championship. He was staggering 502 consecutive games, including playoffs from 1955 to 1962. He played the bulk of these games with the Blackhawks, and every single one of those games without a mask. Which all led the NHL for shutouts for 4 consecutive seasons and finished at least top 6 in the Hart Trophy, voting 7 times before leaving Chicago.
All right. And Greg?
All right. In the 5 hole, I got Charlie, the Constant Gardner. He won the first Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks back in 1934. Sadly, he died at the tender age of 29 years old from a brain hemorrhage and a very severe tonsil infection. But in his time with the Blackhawks, he was a 4-time All-Star, a great presence in the crease, and just an outstanding guy. And he'd probably be higher up on the list if he wouldn't have died so young, so tragically. Number 4, I got Corey Crawford. Honestly, he should probably be moving towards closer to the top of this list because he's got over 250 wins for him, and he's got a couple Stanley Cups to go with it. But, he suffered a really bad concussion back in 2017. He hasn't been quite the exceptional player that he was prior to that concussion. Sometimes he has moments of brilliance. Sometimes he looks like the Corey Crawford of old, but there are times where he just doesn't seem like the same player that he was. So that concussion definitely had a continuing impact on his game even today, 4 years later. In the 3 hole, I got Glenn Hall. The guy did everything. He won the 1961. He won a Stanley Cup in 1961. He was an 11-time All-Star. He won the Vezina Trophy 3 times. He was the Rookie of the Year in 1956. He was one of only 7 players to win the Conn Smythe Trophy in a losing effort, which says a lot about how outstanding he was in the playoffs. And also, Glenn Hall had 84 career shutouts for the Blackhawks. Number 2, I got Ed Bellpower. Ed Bellpower was the Rookie of the Year in 91. He won the Jennings Trophy, which we've been talking about awards. The Jennings Trophy basically is an award handed to the goaltender that has played at least 25 games in the crease and given up the least amount of goals. So basically the goals against average, percentage winner is basically what that award is. He's also one of a very small group of goalies to win 40 games, and he's done it a few times. And he also picked up 201 wins. And it was very sad when he left Chicago and was traded and went to several teams after that, because it seemed like they really loved him over there in Chicago. So that's who I have in the 2. And then number 1, I got Tony Esposito. What can you say about the guy? The guy is still a legend. Everybody loved Tony Esposito. He was there for so many years. Wins, 5-time All-Star, the 1970 Rookie of the Year. He won 3 Vezina trophies. So, the guy was an outstanding guy, gave a lot back to the community. Everybody seemed to love Tony Esposito. And, sadly for Tony Esposito, he wasn't able to get that elusive Stanley Cup championship, but he definitely had a lot of success, tremendous success. And I don't think anybody's ever going to catch him in a Blackhawks uniform for the most wins in franchise history. So that's who I have for my top 5 Chicago Blackhawks goalies.
All right, great list, guys. Great list. I can't really argue with either one. You guys did a great job on those. Phenomenal. So let's do this real quick. Let's make Stanley Cup picks. And let's just go around. I'll start. Who's going to be in the Stanley Cup and who's going to win it? I'm going to tell you that I think your Stanley Cup this year is going to be the Las Vegas Golden Knights against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think the Lightning repeat and take it in 6. Greg?
Well, that's a great pick. I'm going a little bit different route. We know that the Tampa Bay Lightning are a defensive juggernaut. I mean, they have outstanding defense, outstanding goal play right now with Vasilevsky in the crease. But this one's for you, Nate. I'm going with the Avalanche. And to stay true to my time-traveling abilities, the Maple Leafs.
Oh, wow. All right, who takes it? Who takes it in the end?
You know what? This is where my time-traveling abilities, I gotta give it to common sense here. I'm going to give it to the Avalanche. I just think that they're too good defensively. I think that the lack of traveling and not playing against the American teams is definitely gonna hit the Maple Leafs when they make it to the Stanley Cup. So I'm gonna give the edge to the Avalanche to pick up the win. McKinnon's gonna raise the trophy this year.
All right, and Nate.
I don't know what it is about record breaking or close to most win record breaking teams that have like the most closest to the record for the most wins. Or anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's going to be the Maple Leafs. I'm just going to go off on a hot take and say it's going to be my team, the Colorado Avalanche, versus your team, the New York Islanders, and then Avalanche take this.
Whoa, you got the Islanders going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a hot take. You heard that first here on What the Puck. Look at that. Like, our audience just increased.
Yeah.
It just increased by hearing you say that the Islanders were going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I like it.
And Avalanche takes it in a couple of overtime games, but Avalanche takes it 4-3.
All right. Okay. Well, we're out of that. Y'all got our picks. We'll have to stick with those. We'll see if you stick with those as the season goes on here. All right. So, Greg, you got a couple of minutes here to tell us your goofy moment of the week.
All right. And there's a definite theme to this one, okay? J-Mac, I understand that you're a Red Wings fan, right?
Yeah.
And Nate, I know that you're a big time Avalanche fan, right?
Yeah.
So this one's for the both of you. Now, Nate, don't get too upset over this one. Okay. This one is coming from the 2002 West Conference Finals. Sorry, with the Avalanche versus the Red Wings. Okay. Now there was a shot, and as time was winding down, Patrick Waugh looked to have made a great save, and then it was a save that wasn't. And he did this Statue of Liberty play where he just raised his glove up, thought that he had it. The puck fell out of his glove, and then a Detroit Red Wings player scooped it up, and it went behind Waugh, and the Avalanche ended up losing that game. So a little bit of theatrics and showboating from Patrick Waugh, and they lost the game, and then Patrick Waugh never did win again in the playoffs and retired in the 2003 season, after the 2003 season. So the Detroit Red Wings, when they were good, way back in the day, J-Mac, this one's for you, when they came up with the upset over the Avalanche and moved on to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2002. So Patrick Waugh doing the Statue of Liberty, 1 minute he had the puck, and then it slipped out, and they lost the game, and it kind of put a dark spot on Patrick Waugh's legacy, but he still ended up winning 4 Stanley Cups in his career, and is still one of the all-time greats to ever play the game in the crease. But yeah, that's my blooper of the week.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Greg. I got to say, that's probably my favorite segment on the show. Don't you agree, Nate? I love hearing the goofy moment of the week. It just brings the show together. It gives it a flair that no other show has. All right. So did you guys do a trivia last week, Nate?
No, we didn't.
Okay. I'm just checking because I want to reveal the answer if we did one last week. So this week, I have a great trivia question this week. And I think you guys are going to like this one. And so this one's going to come to us actually from – I'll give you the year. That's what I'll give you. I'll give you the year. I won't give you anything else. You have to come up with everything else by yourself. So I will give you the year. The year was – the season year was 74 to 75. Okay? 1974, 1975. Now, your trivia question is the team with the worst record in the league that year was an expansion team. So it's a two-parter. So here it is. What was the team that was the expansion team who has the least wins in a full season in NHL history? You got to name the team and the number of wins that they had in the 1974-1975 season. So let's see if you can come up with that one. I think that's a good trivia question to get back on the trivia thing. I can private chat you guys the answer here real quick if you don't know it already, so that you'll have that going into next week. And while I'm doing that, you guys can get another second to say anything that you would like to say to finish out the show. Plug your own stuff, whatever you think you need to do right now. And go ahead, Nate. We'll start with you.
I think actually the next show I do these lead-ins. I'm going to start doing these lead-ins after for whatever the next show is after this. But I think the next show, if I'm not mistaken, is Sports Minute, right? Or is there shows before that?
Well, are you going to be on Sports Minute? I'm not sure. But if you are, well, then I mean, that's the next one you'll do. The next one you'll be live on, and you always forget about this one. It's the radio show. You'll be on the Four Bros radio show. We're on Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's the next show that you'll be live on. We got to get Hot Seat Galliano on there one of these days. I'd love to get his takes on some of our topics on there. Could you imagine him and Sarge talking together on that show? They'd go back and forth banter. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. You will see me tomorrow. I will be on Sports Minute. I think we're going at, let's say, sometime between 7 and 8. We usually go up to 7, sometimes 8. Just depends on the Saturday and what's going on. So you'll see me on Sports Minute tomorrow. And you will see Hot Seat Galliano. Your next show is Monday?
Yep, it's going to be Monday with my buddy over here, Dallas' own Nate the Great, at 8 p.m. Pacific. So I think Nate likes to stay up late on Mondays.
Oh.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do.
And I got to put this out there. Nate's probably the hardest working man on this network. I got to say. I mean, he is either producing, he's on a show. There was one night, I swear, he produced 2 shows in a row and then appeared on the next 3. So he was like on the computer on this network like 6 straight hours or something. It was insane. Hats off to you, man, because I could not do that. And I know it was like 5 shows in a row that you had something part to do, and that was insane. But we appreciate you on the network because we could not do it without you. And all of you watching us, we could not do it without you. Like, this is lifelong dreams for most of us. I know for me it is. I'm sure it is for you guys. Just to get to come on here and talk about sports. Like, this is all I've ever wanted to do is give someone my opinion of sports, even if they think it's wrong. Get to come on here and talk about it. That's an amazing thing. And there's not a whole lot else that I really would want to do in life. Maybe call a few games here and there, which I would love to do one of these days. So if anyone's watching that, wants some live commentary on your sports, we be the guys. We'll get you. Even if it's like a low-level hockey game, the 3 of us, like, hit us up. We'll come commentate your hockey game, and I guarantee you'll be entertained. You will be entertained. You will not have any better commentators than the 3 of us. So as for tonight, we're going to wrap it up here. Real quick, I got to ask you each one rapid-fire question just because it's something we've been doing on the Four Bros radio show, and it's gone off so great. I'll tell you that. Nate, you've been loving it, haven't you?
Yes.
And I know I've gotten a huge response from our fans. They love rapid-fire at the end of the show. They think it's a great addition to the show. So we'll only go with 2 questions since we only got like 2.5 minutes, and I will start with Greg. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So your first question is going to be, what would your one weapon of choice be if you ever given the choice of any weapon in the world?
I'd probably say, let's see, probably Negan's bat from The Walking Dead.
Hey, that's a good one. All right. And yeah, let's see. So what is the first thing you think of when I say the word fruit?
Strawberry.
I like it. Strawberry. All right. And this next one's for Greg. Let's go with how would you define happiness?
I would define happiness with just being able to be content with who you are, and just, be able to find people that are your true ride and dies. We all have Facebook friends, we all have extended family, but it's really all about just finding who your true family is and just being content with who you are and enjoying life to the fullest. I think that's what happiness is just be comfortable in your own skin and just love yourself and love others, and just be a great citizen, and whatever it is in life, is just do your best. I think that's what happiness is.
All right. Hey, thanks. That was a great answer. Really gave us some insight there. All right, Nate, you're gonna take the show out here with this last question. You ready?
Okay.
If you were ever given $1 million, what would be the first thing you would buy?
I would try to see if I can buy into the Rangers organization so I can change that roster up.
That was a great answer. That's a great answer. All right. Well, that ends our show for tonight. We thank for Rapid Fire. We thank you. I was joined tonight by Greg Hot Seat Gallino. We appreciate it as always, brother. And Nate the Great, thanks for your great insight on all of this. We are going to sign off tonight. We thank you for watching What the Puck, and join us next Friday for another edition of What the Puck. We out.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're eyeing the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace up the field, so type of laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.